Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me. I'm David Duffy, and I'd like to welcome you to the second of four webinars, which focus on what we think are going to be the big trends for digital PR in 2013. This afternoon, I'm joined by Paula Holst from Hammerkit to talk about social media and the PR industry.
Hello.
Paula, let's begin by defining exactly what we mean by social media.
Well, David, I would define it as a media environment where individuals create and share content via highly accessible technologies such as forums and blogs and social networking sites, social gaming environments, and even entire virtual social worlds.
Social media hasn't been around that long. What makes you think it isn't more than just a passing fad?
Well, I certainly don't think it's passing. I mean, it's really a revolution. People suddenly they have all these channels to get their voice heard, and I don't think they're going to want to give that power away. And for PRs, certainly there's not such a thing as unsocial media, I believe. All media today is social. We just have to learn to navigate in it.
So why should PR companies in particular get excited about social media?
Well, at this point, I think it's good to have a look at the numbers because this is really where the audience is. If you look at Facebook, 1 billion users, that's really mind-blowing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And not to mention the millions of online magazines and blogs and discussion forums, etc., where people post and share. I mean, it's a massive maze.
So what does PR get out of social media?
Well, I think enables some great things for PR, really. One of my sort of favorites is the personal touch. You have a direct connection with the clients, and today the communication really is about discussion and sharing and not about broadcasting. And also by listening to the people out there, you can catch some really great ideas and get inspired. And also, since the information is out there, we can keep an eye on the competitors.
Now, Lord Leveson has just this afternoon delivered his report on the press. Do you think that trust in blogs and bloggers, there's a greater level of trust in those than there is in the traditional media?
Well, for me, I don't think it's necessarily a matter of trust, really. I believe people are just interested in hearing what regular people like themselves have to say about topics that they're interested in. And that's why they turn to blogs.
Do you think there's any chance that social media could actually replace traditional PR? Is traditional media dying out?
I don't think it's dying out. I think those two actually can coexist. And if we, talk about journalists and the big media conglomerates as content providers, I mean, they still have the resources and skills to create compelling quality content. And I think this is very valuable amidst all the noise. And what I see social media is doing is they help those to disseminate and amplify the messages. So, since those two can go hand in hand.
Right, okay. Assume for a moment that I'm a PR agency. Take me through some of those steps you would use to create a social media campaign.
Well, I like to break it down into these four parts, really. It all starts from listening. Just you go and meet your client, you find out what they want or need, and this is a good moment for you to, get down and deep and understand what they're doing, how they really run their business, and what are their mission and goals. And then you move to the planning phase. You define what you want to achieve with the campaign. Is it awareness? Is it sales? Or is it loyalty? And then plan the steps, the concrete steps to get there. And very important is to set measurable goals then.
I mean, metrics are very important, aren't they?
Yes, certainly. And at this point, you need to ask yourself, what are the concrete milestones that will show you how well you have reached your goals? For example, if you're going for awareness and using Facebook, it makes all the sense to measure the likes you're getting.
Sure.
And then once you go on to executing your plan, you need to be consistent. You need to keep doing what you promise, keep posting content, and certainly not quit halfway. And I mean, there will be probably issues arising, and then you just go on and tackle those with openness and keep it iterative. And like I mentioned, yeah, you set measurable goals, and you really want to keep measuring there from moment one. You have the flow and the tools ready, and start measuring immediately. And something comes up, if needed, you change. And then you really need to pay attention to, easy to measure versus relevant. I think it's easy to always log on to any kind of an analytics tool and check how the clicks are moving on, but is that really relevant? Once you've set the goals, you will need to follow those and see what to measure based on those. And I think the great thing for PR is that, like you said, social media, there's lots of metrics. You can quantify the Twitter hashtags, you can quantify Facebook likes and shares and time spent on landing pages, etc. So it really provides a good environment for measurement.
Yeah, I'm big on metrics. Perhaps we could have a look at some of the examples that you've got.
Yes. This has got to be one of my favorite examples, the Icelandic constitution from 2011. After the bank crisis hit the country in 2008, they realized that the constitution is really outdated, dated back to the 40s, and it needed a rewrite. So how they approached it is they invited regular citizens to working groups and asked their opinions and invited them to share their input in how their country would basically be governed. And I think it's a really great example of clever use of social media. They had Facebook and Twitter all harnessed for keeping it open and transparent.
Great.
Another one is the Pinterest lottery by British Midland International Airline. And Pinterest it's a very interesting environment. It's visual, and I think it's going to be very engaging going forward. And what BMI did is they posted photos from popular destinations, and users were then asked to repin up to 6 images, and they would choose a number at random, and the users who had repinned the image with that number had a chance to win free return flights to any of their destinations.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Atria, which is a Finnish food company, and they are running a successful Facebook campaign with really engaging and meaningful content for people to use for their daily meal planning. It gave them actually in just 2 weeks' time for more than 11,000 likes.
How does something like this work?
Well, it's quite simple and fun, really. Just first you have to like it to gain access. Then you push the button to spin the wheel, and it then gives you a recommendation for a recipe, and then you can use it, you print it, you share it on your wall, you mail it to your friends.
Great. And now I know you've got something that we can actually take a look at, a social media Christmas campaign or something.
Yes, this is the current Christmas campaign for Adidas, which is featuring Snoop Dogg. So you have a celebrity there, which is always fun. And I think it's a quite clever one. I mean, we can do a little test run there and see how it works. It actually fetches information from your Facebook and plays a little video there.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's have a look.
Hey, y'all. I've had my ear to the digital streets, and according to the Book of Face, the Ebenezer is you. You used to be filled with the holiday spirit. Just look at what you were like back then. You spread cheer to your crew and showered them with love. You were the OG of holiday spirit. But something's changed. You're all bah humbizzle now. You're giving friends the silent treatment, ignoring their invitations, and doing nothing, basically. This is your future if you don't change. You hear me? Your friends have all left you. Nobody cares what you're up to or wants to spend time with Ebenezer you. You're forever alone. But this doesn't have to be. You can change your ways. Do you want to unscrew yourself?
That's quite good.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then you just you go down and you can unscrew yourself, which means that if you've been neglecting some of your friends, you want to show them a little bit of love, and if you've forgotten one of their birthdays or been ignoring something they posted on your wall, you can send them a personalized e-card. And yeah, you can customize the message. There's some illustrations of the Adidas ambassadors, for example, David Beckham there, and yeah, just type any message you want and then you send your card. I think it's something quite engaging and quite fun, really.
Great. That's good. That's fantastic. Thank you, Paula. Just trying to bring together now everything you've talked about. Are there some takeaways that you can give us, Paula?
Yeah, I think definitely. I mean, first to say, social media has really opened a whole new area of creativity for PR, and I just like to sort of bring it down to these 4 points. First of all, you need to understand the environment you're at. The people are out there and they're real, and they have things to say. And obviously, the content will keep being important. You need to produce compelling content, really, that people want to spread for you. And then, people will complain and badmouth, and if they do so, there probably is something wrong with your product or service, and you need to always listen and take action. And lastly, like I mentioned or emphasized above, planning and measuring especially, you just all the time need to see where you're going and if necessary, change course.
That's great. Paula, thank you so much this afternoon. Thank you. I hope you found that useful. If you've got any questions, then please feel free to contact Paula directly at the email address that you'll see on your screen. I hope you're going to join me again next week at the same time, when we'll be looking at how to grow your digital revenue without growing your overheads. With more and more clients asking for a digital aspect to their campaigns, PR agencies are stretched even more.